What is up, you guys? Welcome back to one of my YouTube videos. Today I'm going to be learning the Hardflip. I actually already just learned the Hardflip, but I didn't know if I was going to land it today, so that's why I didn't record an intro. So I actually did get it today, but before I actually get to the actual Hardflip, I'm going to show you how I practiced, how I managed to pull through in the past, and what experiences I went through to actually land this trick. And then we'll get right into the video. Okay, so this was my first time ever really trying the trick. It was around November, which actually seems like a really long time ago. But in the beginning of the process, I was practicing the Hardflip on and off. So to sum it all up, it took about 2 full weeks to learn this trick. And as you can see, I'm nowhere near landing it, so I had a lot of work to do. When you first look at a Hardflip, you just think front shuvit and kickflip, but it's definitely more going on than that. So in this video, I just tried to land it with 1 foot just to get a feeling of what the overall rotation would feel like. So as you can see, I'm bringing my front foot up really high in the air, and I'm supposed to be shoving the board front side with my back foot, but as you can see, it's popping it straight up. And if you're ever trying to learn Hardflips, now I would definitely note that everyone's Hardflips are different. And I say that because when I tried to look up YouTube videos on how other skaters did their Hardflips, it would always end up confusing me because I would hear Aaron Cairo say that the Hardflips are always in the back foot, while Skate Hack says it's always in the front foot. So because of this, I posted this video on my Instagram, skivibes_co. Go follow if you haven't already. But I posted this video on Instagram to get more insight on whether I should put more emphasis on the back foot or the front foot when learning the Hardflip. And it actually surprised me on what the people voted for. But then again, I was putting Skate Hacks up against Aaron Cairo. I feel like they just voted on who they knew best. And don't get me wrong, they're both reliable sources, but when it came to learning the Hardflip, I feel like I just needed to focus on what worked for me, mainly due to the very different types of advice they were giving me. And I feel like to an extent, making that type of decision is sometimes overlooked within the skateboarding community. So after making the decision of trying to find out what works best for me, I started to learn more things about the trick that I never knew before. For instance, in this video, even though I didn't land it, I was a lot closer to doing the Hardflip in comparison to when I first started. As you can see, I'm closer to landing on both feet now, and the direction and technique of how I'm flicking is totally different. There's also a difference in how I'm maintaining my balance. In the left frame, it looks like I'm jumping to the side, while in the right frame, it looks like I'm jumping straight up. And if you're trying to learn a Hardflip, I would definitely try and figure out what's best for you, because I did notice that in my situation, I actually suck at front shuvits, and that impacted how I learned the Hardflip. Which just goes to show you that you don't have to absolutely master the basic tricks in order to learn the hard ones. And no, I'm not saying you don't need to learn how to kickflip and front shove it. You definitely need those. I'm just saying you don't need to be a pro at them or completely have them on lock like most tutorials demand. So if we fast forward in time, I keep practicing and I keep working on improving my technique, I get something like this. And even though this isn't bad, it's not exactly where I want it to be. But the progression is definitely there. I'm landing on the board more, but it's only the nose part of it. And now looking back at it, I feel like I was only landing on the nose because of how vertical it flipped. I also heard that vertical Hardflips are harder, but they look better. So that just gave me more motivation to actually land it this way. But the major disadvantage for practicing the vertical flick was that it made it more likely for me to sag, which made it so hard. And even though there are ways to prevent this, sometimes when you're committing, you just have to go for it. As bad as that sounds, it really doesn't feel too bad after the initial pain goes away. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like out of all the tricks I've learned, Hardflips are the most prone to sagging, which makes it an even harder flip. Let me know if you think so too in the comment section below. This video shows the last day of practice for me. And as you can see, I got pretty darn close. I did continue to pop the board straight down with my back foot to maintain that vertical rotation. Even though I'm getting closer to having 2 feet on the board, I'm still landing on the nose. But if you compare this video to some of my other attempts, the progression isn't looking too bad. I'm bringing my knee up higher, which allows my front foot to flick more efficiently. Now that you guys know what I did during the main part of the process, let's take a look at what happened the day I actually landed it. You never actually know when you're gonna land a trick, but on this day, I just felt ready. And of course, the day I'm actually ready to commit and land the trick, the wind is blowing at like 20 miles per hour. And for my first try, I wasn't looking too bad. After a couple more tries, I got a really close attempt right here. I did manage to catch the board with 1 foot, but I did notice that the direction of my head totally threw my balance off. One thing that really helped was trying to land with both feet. And even though that might seem obvious, it can be hard to fully commit with both feet, especially when you've been practicing to land with one foot at a time. Especially in this example, even when the board flies way behind me, I still go through the full motion with my legs and feet as if the board is still under me. And in my case, this practice technique really helped me learn the real thing. And then I got to the point to where I could catch the board mid-air. The only problem with this is that I didn't catch the board properly. Usually when skaters catch flat ground tricks mid-air, their feet catch the grip tape, not the other side of the board. So now the focus was to catch the hard flip mid-air to then stomp it down and land it. Then it wasn't too long before I got these really close attempts. But it was all worth it because I finally got to land the hard flip. I'm counting it. And even though I will count that as my first legit hard flip, you guys already know I gotta get a cleaner one. Plus, when you land a new trick, it's always two to make it true. And then after giving it a couple more tries, I got this really bad shinner. Then after a couple more attempts, I finally got it. Okay guys, I cannot believe I just hard flipped. That was a very hard experience. It took so many tries, so many bails, so many falls, and it hurt so badly, but it was so worth it. I'm glad I even did one today. Stay tuned for more tricks. Definitely going to be keeping this up. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite part was, and I am out.